We're out here in Alabama Hills. The scenery is epic, and today I'm testing out the Sony 55 1.8 lens. So we're out here in Alabama Hills. This is one of the most epic deserts I've ever been in. And this is where we slept last night. We slept up in our tent up here with our nice sleeping bags. No problem, right honey?
No problem. Bit cold.
Bit cold. Having this Jeep on this road trip has honestly been the best because you can literally just park at any campground or like this. This is like a government land that you can just sleep in for free. So really nice that we were able to just pull up into Alabama Hills, wake up for sunrise here, and it looks so epic. We even have our own little viewing platform from here. You can check out the sunrise and enjoy the views. Roll down the windows. Yeah, I just want to say that you've been a great driver this morning.
That's right, I've been. I mean, just reversing and going back for like 100 times.
Vera has begun to experience the full life of being a wife of a YouTuber. She was doing all the driving while I was doing my drone flying. Thanks, honey. The best part about doing a sunrise shoot is that when you're done, you get to reward yourself with a breakfast. We have our own little kitchen back here. We're making bread. We got the mango smoothie. This cooler is keeping everything cold all night long. Although I'm not sure if we really need any cooling here in the desert. I had no clue, and maybe this is just the fact that I'm not living anywhere near desert, but I had no clue that it gets so cold in the desert at the nighttime. I think last night it got to like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, and then somehow during the afternoon it gets up to like 20, 25 degrees Celsius. So we definitely don't need a cooler when we're here out in the desert. Thanks, Chef Vera. You're the best.
You're the best.
Not bad for a road trip breakfast. We got salami, cheese, cucumbers, and strawberries. Although I need to confess about one guilty pleasure on this trip. This guy right here. We've been having Pepsi Max for breakfast. But when the wife approves, she approves and we go for it. Oh, it's way too cold not to wear up these hands. Also, yesterday I introduced Vera to my favorite childhood movie called Hook. We started at 6 o'clock, but we ended at 7:30 because we got tired, meaning we went to sleep probably about 8 o'clock at night. So this morning, that moment makes me always so happy. I don't know what it is, but I love these feel-good movies. Well, we've had a good time here in the desert, but I think it's time to go back home to Finland. We are back home from California, and man, oh man, did we have a good time. Sleeping under the stars in Alabama Hills with our epic Jeep camper van. I don't really think that I can get any more epic than that. Just waking up in the middle of the night, looking outside the tent, checking out all the stars under the sky. It was incredible. And just being able to sleep in the desert. I don't know about you guys, but where I'm from, there's no deserts nearby. I think we'd have to go all the way to like the Middle East or into Mongolia to hit the desert. In Finland, we have trees and we have lakes. So for me, that was a very once-in-a-lifetime experience. So the Sony 55mm 1.8 lens. I gotta say that I was thoroughly impressed with this lens. I had never shot with it before, but the moment I picked it up and felt it in my hands, I knew right away that this lens is built with quality. And when I started shooting with this lens, the experience was even better. I feel like this is one of those lenses that many people have forgotten about because it is one of the older lenses in Sony's lineup, but I would say that it shouldn't be forgotten. For half the price of the Sony 50mm 1.2 and half the size, you're really getting everything that you need in a portrait photography lens. The Sony 50mm 1.2 lens goes for around $2,000 whereas the 55 goes for around $1,000. And look at the size difference. This is an 85mm, but look at the difference between this 55mm. The 85 and 50mm are pretty much the same in size. But you can just see there is a huge size difference in this lens. So what was it like to shoot with the 55mm lens? I personally really enjoyed the experience. Putting this lens onto my A7S III, it was a nice, small, light, compact setup, which you guys all know that I love. I don't want huge pieces of camera gear carrying around with me. I want to have a very small, compact setup. Autofocus was very reliable, very quick. The photos that came out that you saw in the beginning of the video, very sharp, beautiful bouquet, and overall it was just a nice lens to be shooting portraits of myself and my wife. Now, many people might criticize this lens for its price, $1,000 because Canon has, for example, the Canon 50mm 1.8, which in a way, specs wise, sounds like the same. Both 50mm, both have 1.8 aperture. But you quite quickly notice if you feel this lens versus the Canon 50mm 1.8, the 50mm 1.8 is plasticky. It's gonna break quickly, whereas this is much more solid. And as well, based on my photos and what other people have said about this lens, you are gonna get much sharper photos and a nicer quality of bokeh. So it really depends what your needs are. If you are a beginning photographer, you might not notice, so the Canon 50mm 1.8, for example, would be great for you. Whereas if you are a more professional photographer and you want a high quality portrait lens, but you don't want to break the bank buying the 1.2 lens, this 1.8 lens definitely would be for you. So yeah, thoroughly impressed with this lens. Will this lens stay in my camera bag? I would say yes. I really enjoyed taking this, especially when I'm traveling because it is so small and lightweight and it just packs a whole lot in this one small lens. So those are my thoughts about the Sony 55mm 1.8 lens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do ever have the opportunity, go on a road trip in California and go visit Alabama Hills. I was just blown away being there. I had never slept under the stars in the middle of the desert, and having that Jeep from Indie Campers and just sleeping in that tent above, it was pretty dang epic, if I say so myself. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe below, hit that like button, and comment your thoughts on this lens, because I would love to hear if you guys have used the 55mm lens and what your thoughts are on shooting with it. All right, have a fantastic day.